A leader will always lead you up.
Tell me about the moment when you locked in your first client. How did that push you to level up and scale your business?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Today is not going to be your always.
With all the recent Medicaid payment delays under the Trump administration, many home care agencies were affected by the nationwide outage. How has that impacted your business? Hitting six figures in your first year. So what was the biggest shift in your mindset that allowed you to achieve that so fast?
That hurt my heart through building this business, but it's so new that I can't give you everything that I wanted to.
Oh.
So they said, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Because I know the people that you're going to take care of, they're going to appreciate it just as much as I would have.
I'm listening to your story and tears about to come down my face. Okay, so I am super excited to talk to you today. Okay, we've been trying to speak to you for a good bit now. But I want to start with your journey. So your journey to success is truly inspiring, especially achieving so much in just 1 year, which technically is less than a year, I want to say. So what was the moment you knew this was the path for you, and how did you take the first step?
I knew that this was the journey for me when my young daughter at the time, she just reached out to me and said, hey mom, I'm done with school. And, I'm looking at her like, what do you mean you're done with school? And what it all came down to was she was trying to tell me that school wasn't for her. It was, the education was important, but she was ready to move on in life and do something different because her mentality was more advanced than what she was being given at the time. So we dug a little deeper into her thoughts to see exactly what it was that she was seeking. And it was to wrap up school. So what that meant for her was completing her education a year early and moving on to college courses that would lead her into a field, a healthcare field. So she excelled with that. She completed high school a year early, as I just said. She went into college and started a journey for nursing. Immediately after that high school graduation, she went into the field and started working at a facility. And within the facility, she felt that the clients just weren't being treated the way that she imagined them and how they should have been. So her passion for healthcare at that time, it opened my eyes, and it let me know at that time that my journey in banking for 23 years was not my calling. I realized that it was something that I needed to move on and do as well as her. So I ended my career. Well, not really ended it. It ended for me. I was laid off a week after brainstorming into what it is that I could do to help her.
Right.
It ended and with a layoff. And at that time, I was, I would say, one of the happiest people in the world.
Wow.
Because I felt like that burden, well, I wouldn't call it a burden because it was actually a good run, 23 years of it. Like I said, in banking. It was time for me to move on. That's when I realized I needed to move on. So I started researching what it was that I could do in the healthcare field to help my daughter advance in her career and also start something meaningful that would help families. So my husband and I, we decided to take on a mentorship program in the healthcare field to prepare us for our new journey in healthcare. What it would look like, I still didn't know at that time. So we took the mentorship program, we completed it, we felt good about it. So we started with a medical staffing agency where we would staff medical professionals in the facilities, in the hospitals, and then the nursing homes and things. It didn't do too well because the market started to shift at that time. And what we were seeing, it was during the COVID time. What we were seeing were the hospitals were starting to send patients home. They would send them home and not actually providing the rehab that they needed.
Right.
So we shift gears a little bit, researched and seen that medical staffing was okay. And we could excel there. But how could we help these clients that weren't getting the necessary treatment and things that they needed. So we researched a little more and we decided to go into the home health field so we could be there for those people that were at home and give them the, the treatment that they needed.
Yeah.
So we got licensed for the home health side of it.
Right.
We did that in 2022. And at that time, we did not know that, well, I'll back up a little bit.
Yeah.
We got licensed in 2022. And when we decided to go into the home health side of it, we looked at this as being something that we could do to help other families, let alone our own families as well.
Right.
So we figured one day our parents would need, the medical help. They would need it. Other people in our family and our church families, just, anybody that we came into contact with, we just wanted to help.
Right.
So fast forward, we got licensed. We did not know that our parents would fall ill at that same time.
Yeah.
So we were freshly licensed, ill parents. What at that time what we thought was our way to help families.
Yeah.
We didn't know that God was preparing us to help our own family as well. So it wasn't just a business anymore.
Right.
It was a way to prepare us. I felt like God was preparing us to become caregivers, to start caring for the ones that were closest to us, along with the people in the community. So at that time, I knew that this was the right place for me.
Yeah. You said so much. I mean, so much about your daughter. So she came home from high school.
Yes.
Okay, so she graduated high school a year early.
Yes, she did.
And then she went to college.
That's right.
And into the medical or the healthcare field when she went there. And so she went to do what it is that you're doing, except you're running a business.
That's correct.
That is so cool. So what I find interesting is that you actually found what you were passionate about through helping her.
That's correct. Yes.
You actually sat down and strategized with her on what it is she could be doing for the rest of her life.
That's right.
Wow. Okay. And then you were in banking for 23 years. That's a lot of stuff. It's so much stuff you said. I'm trying to figure out what I want to talk about. But wow. So you've been in this industry for since COVID. So was it 21 or 20?
It was actually the beginning of the pandemic, I believe.
So when they announced it in 2020 at the beginning of the year.
2020, and then we had this cut.
Go ahead. Okay. So they announced it at the beginning of the year for COVID. So what I want to show is you've been in this industry for 5 years because we're in 2025. You see how fast time has went by?
Right.
Wow. It's been quite a lengthy time.
Yeah. So that would be.
Okay. So look, this is what I want to ask you. So I saw some pictures, right? So I saw you did a clothing drive and there were so many bags of clothing. I mean, a lot of bags of clothing that you actually donated. So what inspired you to want to go into the community and do a clothing drive?
Absolutely. So this business is not, for me, it's not just about going into the homes and helping people that need help. Of course, yes, we're going to do that because that's our number one priority. But as well, we are centered around helping the community as well. So there was a Facebook post that I came upon one day.
Yeah.
And it was a young lady. She had mentioned that she was rotating 2 outfits between a client at the facility. And she said, I'm so tired of putting these 2 outfits on this one client. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm thinking, here we are, a new face in the community. We're looking to help the community. We're looking to be a part of the community programs, events, and also creating them. What could we do to help? So immediately my mind was wrapped around how can I help, this young lady and these clients that's in the facility.
Yeah.
So I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. We're going to do a clothes drive.
Yeah.
We're going to do a clothes drive.
That's tight.
We had workers, we had staff at that time who was assigned to different clients. and they weren't able to participate as much as I wanted them to, but it was okay because if I had to be a one-man show to get that done, that's what I was going to do. And that's how it ended up. I had a couple of family members that stepped in to help me get the clothes delivered. The girls, the employees knew what we were doing. They cheered on from the backside, but we got it done.
That's good. There were so many bags of clothing, and you donated to a facility, right?
Yes, I donated those clothes to that same exact facility that original Facebook post came from.
Oh, it came. Now, that's what I call understanding the challenges within your community and knowing how to, you see a problem and you go fix it.
Right.
Like the same facility where that lady said that you was able to get clothes together, tons of clothing, and donate it to that facility. So now that client that she has multiple outfits, multiple things that they can wear. Because rotating 2 outfits, you got to wash clothes every other day. That's a lot.
Absolutely. They were able to take those clothing and they actually set it up at the facility as if it was a store. So, of course, there was no charge for it. But the facility had what they called a shopping day for the residents. And they laid all the clothes out on tables, and they allowed the residents to come in and act as if they were shopping to pick out the clothes for themselves. So it was awesome.
That is a good idea. I like that. That's exciting. That's fun for the residents, get them to come out and to look at different things, because they probably don't get to leave out often.
Right.
So that's exciting. Hey, y'all, just taking a quick break from this amazing conversation. I want to take a moment to say thank you for tuning into the podcast. And if you're loving this episode just as much as me and you want more content just like this, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Now listen, if you're a home care agency owner and you're trying to figure out how to bring in more money, how to pay yourself what you actually deserve, I'd love to have a chat with you. I've helped home care agency owners scale past 6 figures, pay themselves more, and finally feel in control of their business finances. Click the link in the description to schedule a free Zoom call with me. I truly love this industry and I can't wait to connect with you, learn more about your business, and help you break through to that next level. You've worked too hard to stay stuck within your business. Let's build something greater together. Click the link below and let's make it happen. All right, now let's get back to the episode. So being in home health care isn't easy by far. And many people don't realize the hard work and genuine care that really goes into what you do, So who or what has inspired you the most during the toughest parts of your journey to keep going?
I would say the families of the residents. Just seeing the relief that we're able to bring to them, that's I couldn't describe what that does for me. It motivates, it gives me more drive, it's fulfilling my passion, and it's pushing me to just keep moving forward and to help as many people that we can.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. I mean, you got to have that in this industry, because if you don't care, for me, when you're a small business, you're not going to get too far. You have to have love behind what you're doing. People have to see that in order to trust and believe in you. You're taking care of someone's family that they love, So how did that experience influence the way you actually run your agency today?
I am very keen and stuck on the phrase of delivering luxury home health care services. And what that means for me is anyone can run an agency and, and give the illusion or have the conversation of, I can take care of your loved one.
Right.
That's not enough for me. For me, that means going into that home, nurturing the client along with the families, giving them a sense of relief. My focus when I go into a home is speaking to the family and letting them know that I'm not here just for your loved one. I'm also here for you. And the conversation is always around, I want that family member, first and foremost, to make sure that they are taking care of themselves. Self-care is everything. Because when I'm not there, then they need to have the energy and the strength and the will to give that loved one whatever it is that they need,
right,
and not be exhausted from it, not be tired from it, and not have guilt behind it. You need to take a break for yourself. So I like to let them know that we're there for them both.
Yeah.
Luxury home healthcare services for me is not, again, coming into the home, just taking care of the ADLs, meaning the bathing, the grooming, and things like that. Your loved one, if they're not on a strict dietary plan, then we're not just giving sandwiches because that's what's there to give them. I'm asking, is there a grocery, list that we can follow to provide a 3-course meal for this client if they're not on a dietary plan? I want them to have meals.
Yes.
Not sandwiches.
Right.
Because it's not it's not nutritious. It's not nutritious at all.
Help them.
Yes. So we're in that area. We're big on providing meals for them.
Yeah.
We're taking them out. If they're able to go out, if it's a warm day outside, let's go out. Let's go and have lunch. Let's go to, we don't have parks here or anything like that, but right. But let's go sit under the bridge and have some lunch. Nice. Let's laugh. Let's have some time together. I'm now becoming your family. I'm becoming a part of your family. Our teammates become part of your family.
Right.
I have some aides that are off some days and they're still calling to check in. Miss Gwen, how's such and such doing? I just want to know. I know I'm off, but I want to make sure they're okay. That's reporting back to the families. Yeah. That's a big thing as well. We need to make sure that we're communicating effectively.
Yes.
There's logbooks and there's phone conversations, there's text messages, there's everything that we use to communicate with the families to make sure that we're checking in with them, that we're providing the services for them. Surveys that we do as well to make sure that we are on task. Luxury home health services is me being on the scene as well as our aides. I spend a lot of time with the families. I spend a lot of times with the patients. I just want to know that everything is being taken care of on a scale of 10 or above.
Right. I like that. Yes. You want to make sure everything is copacetic, huh?
That's right.
You said a lot, but I really like the fact that it's not just for your client, it's also for the family.
That's right.
Because it just puts me in the mind of taking care of children. Sometimes you don't have nobody to take your children to, so you need a break. So to have a company to come in to take care of your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, whoever, for a few hours while you get to go take some time for you, that really can motivate you to come back and be prepared, whatever you got to do the next day. So I think that is so important within your industry that they actually understand what you just said. You said a lot, but everything you said was important.
Absolutely.
Very important. So I absolutely love that. So I want to ask, when you look back over this last year, and just to be clear, it hasn't been a full year, has it? How long has it been?
It's been 9 months, going on 10 months.
9 months, going on 10 months.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So when you look back over this 9 or 10 months, what key decision or moment do you think made the biggest impact in growing your business so quickly?
The biggest impact was just what we could provide. Just being with those families and them,
So the biggest impact you said is being with the families, the services that you guys provide, that helped you so much. And I want to say, from me just observing you, you go in the field a lot. And you're talking to the families like they're dealing with you. They have an aid, but they also are dealing with you. Did that impact you a lot to grow so quickly by having these relationships? And then they like how you work, and then they send you more people, huh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just being with the families and providing the services, as you said, that's a major impact to the business as well, because they are calling their other family members, they're calling their friends, and they're calling the their neighborhood friends and communities, and
Yeah.
letting them know that, hey, we have United Choice Healthcare staffing here,
Right.
and they're providing such a good service to us. We just wanted to let you guys know. I've had several of the families tell me, you know what, I have friends. I have friends.
Yeah.
Or I've had them come up to me and say, hey, I wish I had known about you 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I wish I had known you as well. But I'm sure there's someone else that you can help. I'm sorry I wasn't able to help with you guys.
Yeah.
But I can help someone else. So
Yeah.
just, keep it going.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I would ask you this. If you could go back to the very beginning and give yourself one piece of advice, what would you say? Or what piece of advice would you give yourself now where you are today to help you move maybe a little faster?
Oh, wow. I would say that I would have been more prepared. I had no idea that we were going to grow as fast as we did.
Yeah.
I had no idea that we were going to grow this fast.
Prepared. What would you have done to be more prepared, though?
Systems.
Right.
Systems. It's all about organization and systems.
Yeah.
We had what we thought was systems put into place, but on a fast growing pace that we're on, it could have been a little bit better to help us prepare, and especially with me being in the field as much.
Yeah.
I should have made sure that we were better prepared in the office.
Yeah.
I would say I have no desire to be in the office. That's
good.
Yes, I like being in the field. So it's kind of hard for me to relay what it is that I want to see on the office side of it versus what I want to see in the field. I'm accomplishing in the field 100%.
Right.
But we could clean up in the office a little bit more.
That's
from
good.
that perspective.
I like that. Systems is a big deal in any business because if you don't got systems, structure, or organization, everything moves slower. So to the people who are in the beginning stages or even in the growing stages, if you don't have systems in place, you better get your systems in place because she just told y'all.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me about the moment when you locked in your first client. How did that push you to level up and scale your business?
My first client actually helped me realize a lot of things. Very first client, I wanted to be on board, hands-on, I'm sorry, as I am now. But that case really pushed me back a little bit. Off top, it let me know that if you're going to run this business and you want it to be successful, you need to delegate.
Yeah.
You need to definitely delegate and leave it to the professionals.
Yeah.
So it quickly showed me where my place was. It was managing the business and not so much being hands-on, even though I still ended up being in the field a lot. Hands-on. Because that's just where my heart is.
Yeah, but that's your first client, though.
It was. It was my first client and it was a learning experience. It taught me my place, as I just said.
Yeah.
Leave it to the professionals to do their thing 100%. You be on the sideline, as you should be sometimes. But it taught me structure. It taught me to delegate. Yeah. And that it was okay to delegate. So it taught me that.
That's important. I got to stop you right there. A lot of agency owners, home care agency owners, don't understand that it is okay to delegate.
It is.
It's okay because guess what? If you don't delegate, you're going to always be where you are right now.
Absolutely.
If you don't do nothing today, if you keep doing the same thing today, you're going to be in the same place tomorrow.
Right.
So I like that. You said a lot though, but delegation is really important. I want to say, in your home care agency, what services do you provide?
Oh, wow.
What services, like your main services that you actually provide?
We provide, of course, the home health care where we're coming into the home, providing the basic ADLs. We also handle client travel to a certain extent.
Okay.
I wouldn't for say call it traveling, but if your loved one is wanting to attend family
Yeah.
dinner or they're wanting to get out on maybe, a little day trip or a trip, we're able to accompany them. And from that aspect, we provide what we call supplemental services in the facilities. So if your loved one is in an assisted living facility and they don't have one-on-one companionship, we're able to provide those services.
So what services is that when you go into the facility? What are you doing that the facility may not be doing?
Sure. So we have facility care. So if the your loved one is in the facility and they don't have the one-on-one, which means they're in an environment where they have their own living quarters. They have a dining hall. They have a common area where they can do activities and things of that sort. But if they need help in their quarters, even outside, but more help in the quarters, because in the facility, they're not going to hold your loved one's hand. They're not given the one-on-one contact.
Right.
So when they're, needing help with the ADLs and things, they'll come around, once a day or whatever the need may be to help during that routine visit time that they're scheduled for. But anything outside of that, they may have a 45-minute wait. They may have an hour wait, depends on how busy the facility is. So that your loved one is not getting the right here and right now care.
Right.
So we're able to be there with them to oversee their daily activities and making sure that they're getting the particular help that they need right at that time.
Can you give me some examples of some type of care that you provided to your clients in these facilities?
Sure. So, for instance, they may not have activity days scheduled where you feel as your loved one is not getting enough interaction to keep them on a routine.
Yeah.
So we may come in and bring our own crafts, and we may have craft day with them.
Yeah.
We may just come in and provide bathing services where they're being bathed, they're getting their nails painted, getting their hair washed, and we have a stylist that comes in as well, our own personal stylist.
Y'all got your own personal stylist.
We do.
Oh my, luxury for real.
Yes. We have a personal stylist. She's been in business since, I believe, for 25 years plus.
What?
Yes, she'll come in.
I might need to get this service. I need a personal hairstylist.
Yes, so cut, color, whatever it is you may need, she can take care of that.
Wow.
Yes, we also provide we might do walks. We may take them outside and, get them fresh air. That's important, especially during this time of year where there's a lot of flu season and things like that. We want to make sure that you're getting some fresh air. We can do that. We also sit down with them if they're not eating well or a lot. We may sit down with them at the dining table where the facility will just provide a meal to them, but they're not there to encourage them to eat. So we may just sit there and say, you did a good job eating that. Can you get a little more? Until the meal is complete to keep them, nourished. So just a lot of different things in a facility that is offered is not able to be offered to them on a one-on-one. So we're there to fulfill that.
I like that you said bathing, you're feeding them, you're really taking care of them, like, because I have so many children, So I'm thinking like that everything I do for my child every single day, you're doing that every single day on the hour for them, even though they're in a facility. I think a lot of families don't realize what they're actually doing when they put their families and loved ones in these facilities, like the type of care that they're getting.
Right.
And then they get in the facilities and they don't understand what's happening and why it's happening. Was because it's not the type of care that you're actually paying for. So I think with companies like yours and what I see, it's important to understand what you're paying for so that you know the proper care that your family need, because a lot of elder people are like in home care. They don't want to leave their home.
Right.
But that's why the facility is not catering to their needs like you are.
Right.
So I think that's awesome.
It is. We see a lot of improvement with our clients when we do
Mm-hmm.
go into the facility or the home because they're getting that one-on-one care. They're getting that special attention.
Yeah.
They're getting that love. Some of them just need somebody to pat them on the back or maybe give
Yeah.
them a hug or just hold their hand sometimes. It makes a big difference because
Yeah.
I've seen the turnaround from you just don't know, you see your loved one declining and declining.
Mm.
And it's because, from my personal experience, they don't have the one-on-one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I read an article where it says when they are able to get in-home care, they live longer.
Yes.
And, they're being taken care of. They're in an environment that they know, it's not strangers to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important. So I know I asked about the services, so I want to ask you about this. So many home care agencies, they have different approaches to payment options. So can you share what type of payments does your agency accept and why you've chosen to accept the payments that you accept?
Absolutely. So right now we are accepting private pay clients, which
Mm-hmm.
means that the payments are directly from the client themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and we're also accepting long-term care insurance, which means that they've paid into an insurance that will pay for their care, and
Mm-hmm.
the family pays for it and get a reimbursement from the insurance
Mm-hmm.
company. I chose to go with these two forms of payment because I feel as if there's less obstacles
Mm.
when it comes to the family.
Yeah.
We're able to cater to the care plans better
Right. Mm.
with this option.
I like that you said that.
Mhm.
So when you say that, because the care plans that's important, very important to how you provide care for your clients. So why do you feel that?
I feel that with the care plan, I'm very big on customizing care plans.
Yeah.
So what that means is going from a general just ADLs being taken care of, which is your daily things that need to be
Mm-hmm.
done, your bathing, grooming, things like that. Some families may say, "Hey, can you take my loved one to church on Sunday?"
Mm-hmm.
Um, it allows more hours
Mm.
to be involved, that we were able to be on site, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you're a Medicaid client, then they're only allotting so many hours
Right.
per day
Right.
for personal care. Of course,
Mm.
the family could, pay out of pocket of, along with the Medicaid,
Right.
but for me, I just find it more that I could service a client more effectively if I'm able to give the family exactly what it is that it
Right.
needs and to get to satisfy their care plan to their liking
Yeah.
and not have that stipulation put into place or those rules put
Right.
into place that would take away from what the family's looking for.
I like that.
Hmm.
I mean,
Hmm.
and so I just want to say, so your agency, you are a private pay agency.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
do not accept Medicaid,
Not at this
just
time.
long-term care insurance and private pay.
Absolutely.
There are many agencies who are trying to get to where you are, where it is that you are. So look, I got a question. So with all the recent Medicaid payment delays under the Trump administration, many home care agencies were affected by the nationwide outage that happened. I think it was last week. So since you don't accept Medicaid, how has that impacted your business?
It hasn't.
It hasn't
It has.
impacted at all. You were
It
still able to do business and pay your caregivers and employees and keep on.
Yes, ma'am. I hadn't even paid attention to that because it doesn't apply.
This is so good for them to hear though. So they can like this is a different perspective
Hmm.
than what they're normally used to hearing.
Hmm.
So do you think home care agencies relying on Medicaid should be concerned?
I think they should be very concerned.
Mhm.
By all means, I'm not opposed to the Medicaid
Right.
process. It just would not allow me to. It wouldn't allow me to grow as fast as I've grown.
Right.
Under a Medicaid run, business.
Right.
There's a lot of time that's put into um, a Medicaid case
Mhm.
because there's so many. so many rules
Yeah.
to it, that the time that's a time that's requested, I should say,
Yeah.
time that's requested to fulfill the obligations.
It's not enough time, huh?
No, it's not enough time.
And they, they don't, which is so crazy to me. How do you pay, like in the state of Virginia, they pay $19.83 per hour. And I know in North Carolina they pay $23.85, something like that per hour. And then your caregivers, you're paying them 14, even $12 an hour compared to 19. I mean, that's not a lot. And the pay rate has gone up in Virginia to like $12.85 or something like that. So you don't have a lot left for the agency after the Medicaid. So Medicaid, they need to fix that, because that's unfortunate for a lot of people who actually are on Medicaid and receive that type of service,
Right.
So what type of clients do you typically work with?
Just the private pay clients are the ones that I work with the most, as we just spoke of. But as far as clients, we our specialty is in Alzheimer's
Alzheimer's.
and dementia. That's our specialty. Lately we've been taking in a lot of hospice clients, which now I've found that that's really where my heart is.
Wow.
Just being able to console the families.
Yeah.
It's something that, again, I don't know how to describe the feeling that
Yeah.
you get to being able to bring relief to the families. And also with dementia and Alzheimer's as well, it takes a special type of person
Yeah.
to be able to fulfill that obligation.
Yes.
With the Alzheimer's or dementia case, you have to know how to speak to the client of
Yeah.
such. You have to learn their triggers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of patience that has to be given. So I think I would say that I'm pretty versed there.
Yeah.
My team is pretty versed there. We take continuing education classes on how to relate. We just recently come into a training program
Yeah.
for our aides for dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to be something that we continue to excel in.
I like that. That's important, because dementia and Alzheimer's, I have seen on TikTok, they'll have videos of their loved ones. They do them and they have dementia or Alzheimer's. And it's not an easy job, because they're going to say whatever comes to their mind. They don't care. They ain't thinking about you.
Right.
Like, who you? So I like that. I love it. So I had the opportunity to observe you, and I absolutely loved it. I got to see your business in action, and I was very impressed. So I got to see firsthand how you built a family environment for both your staff and your clients. So what drives you to create such a caring and supportive environment for them?
It's not all about, as I said before, just the clients themselves. And I spoke on the families, being able to service the families, but my employees are also just as important to me.
Yeah.
I'm big on promoting them up, whether it's within this company or whether it's, outside of the company. Any individual that I come across, whether I can help them in our business or with any task in life, as long as they're excelling and I see that need there and that want there to be better, to do better, then I'm all for it. So with our employees, when we go through our initial interview, that's one of the things that I let them know.
Yeah.
What is it that you're looking to seek from this company?
Right.
What brought you here, and where do you want to be? Some of them will come from just from a different profession.
Yeah.
And they're knowing that it's something else that they want to do. I know how fulfilling this job could be.
Yeah.
But at that time, they may not know.
Right.
So I'm looking at them and I'm seeing the qualities. I'm looking at them and I'm hearing what it is that they're telling me. And I know by speaking with some of them that this is a place for them.
Right.
So I'm going to, encourage them to get the correct credentials to be able to work with us. And by me doing that, that's giving them another stepping stone to advance into another career.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off, but I love it. I think it's important because let's say I'm, 17, 18,
Mm-hmm.
and, you're out here looking for a job. A lot of us start in, I want to, Hardee's and stuff, McDonald's. A lot of us start there because that's all we have in the community.
Right.
But you're in a small community. You're a Tappahannock, even
Right.
though your agency, you're in different areas, Richmond and you're in different areas.
Right.
But in this small community, they have an opportunity to come work for a woman, a Black-owned company that's going to give them an opportunity to get to wherever they're trying to go.
Right.
You could be in high school. You don't know what you're trying to do. I know I want to be in the healthcare field. I don't know what to do to get there, but there's a company right here.
Right.
And you can help guide them.
Right.
With whatever their vision is. I mean, it don't get no better than that. We come from a small area too, so there's hardly nothing there.
Right.
But to have a company like this, I'll be up in there working like, what you need? I've been up in there. Yes, okay. Because they get to grow.
Right.
Who doesn't want to grow? Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to have a pay raise.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to be stuck in the same position.
Absolutely. And a leader will always lead you up.
That's right.
Lead you up, grow you up to where there's no position for you here, which means you may start as home health aide and advance to a PCA and then to a CNA and then to a LPN and an RN. At that time, there's nothing else left for you to do here but to venture off and become your own boss at that time. That's how I want to see my employees. There's going to be another you. Yeah. That I'll bring up the same way that I did.
Oh, listen. Oh my gosh. Okay, look. Wendy's and McDonald's and Hardee's. Okay, these jobs, they create them in the community. They have them for teenagers, for when we in high school to work the jobs, because eventually they know when we come work for them, we're going to eventually leave off. We're going to go to school and blah, blah, blah. We're going to go somewhere else. But, some people, that's all we have and that's all we see. But your model, your thinking is exactly how these big corps think. Like, absolutely. Seriously, like, that's big. I have never heard a business owner say what you just said about their employees. Never.
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't want to get stuck on that, but that's a big one. So what story do you keep near and dear to you that reminds you why this work that you do is so important?
My father.
Oh.
My father. There was once upon a time a guy that came into my mom's life when I was just a young girl. Yeah. It was during the same time when my biological father had passed. That was there to hold my hand through a lot of difficult times. I remember as a young girl, just sitting on the armrest of the car, riding down the road, and we would stop and, get a burger. And when he'd take a bite, I'd take a bite. Years passed by, and he was still there. He was still there. My wedding, he was there to walk me down the aisle. Whenever I called on him, he was there. Well, him falling ill, after being that father figure for me for a number of years, that hurt my heart. Because that was the second man in my life that I lost, that I cared a lot about. Him and I talked during his time of passing, in the midst of me building this business. And I told him, I said, I wanted to be able to help you more through building this business, but it's so new that I can't give you everything that I wanted to. Oh. So he said, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. Because I know the people that you're going to take care of, they're going to appreciate it just as much as I would have. Ooh, Lord, I need tissue. So he told me, he said, just keep going. Yeah. Keep going. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep doing it for him. Yeah. And I'm going to do it for him. So that's my encouragement, my motivation, because I wasn't able to be there as much as I wanted to be for him, but I'm going to be there for all the other families, the best that I can be. That's where your love comes from. Yes. I can hear it. And I'm not emotional, okay? But yeah, my eyes are a little watery, but that's okay. That's okay.
So some of our hardest moments end up teaching us the most, just like what you just said right there. So can you share a mistake or a tough situation that gave you a valuable lesson about running your business?
I won't call it a lesson because I'm still doing it. And I feel as if I could be judged for this, but I'll take it.
Okay.
Being as involved as I am with the families.
That comes with it.
It's taught me a lot.
Yeah.
But will I back away from it? No. I won't. I'm going to face it head on. And if that's what we're calling wrong or a lesson, then I'll take that.
Yeah. I don't think you can call it wrong. You're going to be involved. I think
too involved.
Yeah, listen, it's only too involved if you can't get up in the morning and keep going.
I've had some of those days. I've had some of those days as well where I get up and I'm like, I have to just keep going and going and going because such and such needs me. This family needs me. That family needs me. And I'm not taking the time to fulfill what I need.
Yeah.
But from knowing that I can, run myself down and not take care of myself. I'm preaching all the time about self-care and I'm not giving it to myself. I'm okay with that. When I get to the point where the families, I feel that they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Then I'll be comfortable.
Yeah. I think you're doing an amazing job. It comes with the territory. I mean, I'm listening to your story and tears about to come down my face. Like I have to try to, look at me crazy over here. But yeah, it comes with it. You just got to keep going.
Yeah.
What I always remember is like you go through things and, it's like, okay, I'm tired. But it's like, if I'm tired right now, I don't know what's to come in the future. I don't know what hurdles, what things I'm going to have to get over, what humps. That it could be worse than this. So if I can get through this, then I ain't gonna be able to get through that. So that's how I keep moving. And then you have children or people that depend on you, so that helps you because you don't want to get stuck.
Right.
You don't want to get stuck.
And I go back to where we talked about delegation.
Yeah.
I'm delegating.
That's great.
To a certain extent, but at the same time, I just want to make sure that everybody is okay.
Yeah.
And they're going to be.
I love it. I like it. So for someone out there that's struggling and feeling like their dreams are slipping away, what would you say to encourage them to keep going?
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Today is not going to be your always. It's going to work out as long as you just keep pushing.
Yeah. I like that.
And put the right people in your life.
Gotta have the right people. Yeah. Okay. So when everything feels like it's too much, what's one thing you do to stay motivated and keep yourself focused?
I think those are the times when I take a step back and I look at the big picture, where we are, what it is I need to do at that time to satisfy. I lost train of what.
That's okay. You said go ahead. So look, I just want to know when everything kind of like how we was talking, right? And you told me self-care.
Right.
So when everything is on your shoulders, what do you do to relax a little bit? What helps you to get back going in the business?
I just take a day. At that time, that's when I know I said I go all the time. I go all the time and I do. But once in a blue moon, you do have to take a Saturday or, one weekday to you're still gonna, work a little, but you have to focus on yourself. You have to focus on yourself just a little bit, for a little while.
Yeah, you gotta decompress.
Yeah.
Your industry that you're in home health care is very demanding. And when you become a owner, it's even more demanding. So what's that word you said with the D? Delegate?
Right.
You got to learn delegation very fast. I mean, you get one client, you're like, I got to delegate this, right? You have one client. So you have to delegate very much faster than you would in other industries. So some industries, it could be a one-man show for a little bit,
Right.
but not in this industry. No, it don't require that. You need a team,
Right.
and you got to delegate. So if you don't take nothing away today, delegate. Systems.
Yes.
So was there ever a moment when you considered giving up, and what pulled you through that particular time?
I can honestly say, I don't think I've had moments where I wanted to give up.
Mm-hmm.
I had moments where I wanted to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
I had moments where I wanted to take a break just for, a few days.
Yeah.
And I did that. I
Mm.
did that. The motivation and what pulled me back, it's just it was I don't know. It's just I just took a break, and
Yeah.
taking a break was all that I needed.
Right.
But I never wanted to give up.
I like that. That's good.
Hmm.
I never had that moment either where I wanted to give up.
Right.
But taking a break, I need a break. And when I come back, I'm very happy.
Right.
Like, hi. How you doing? What you need? Okay, I got you. It'll be done very fast,
Absolutely.
So you just needed to just get yourself back going a little bit. Because you when you do what you love, you don't want to give up.
That's right.
You love it. You just need a little break.
That's
what anything you do with children, anybody. Like, I love you. Just give me a little bit, okay? Let me see you in a couple hours. So, what's one thing you wish you known when you were starting your agency, and how would it change how you approach your agency today? So, one thing you wish you would have known when you started.
I wish I had known how to properly fund my business.
Oh, you gotta tell me about that. So,
yes.
What you mean when you say that?
So there's a lot of startup costs.
Yeah.
When you get into the this business, this line of work.
Mm-hmm.
When I originally started it, I started it with all of my savings. I exhausted, almost depleted everything to get it going. At that time I wasn't educated enough to know the funding side of it, that there's resources.
Yeah.
There's grants. There's a lot of things that you can do besides jumping full ahead, first with your particular finances. I wish I had those resources in the beginning.
That's important to know. So they have resources. So if you want to start a home health care agency, they have resources for you.
Oh, definitely. There's, as I said, there's grants.
Yeah.
There's funding companies. There's private lenders. There's a lot of different people.
Private lenders now.
Yeah.
Those are the best ones.
It's a lot of different resources that you can exhaust. I started mine, with my personal savings because I did not want to go into my business in debt.
Yeah.
So I worked and I worked and I worked.
So you put that equity in there.
Yes, sweat equity.
Yes, indeed.
And
all
I
of
still
that
do.
went straight in there. But is it paying off?
Most definitely.
So you wouldn't change a thing about using. Well, you would try to get other funding, but it's paying you back.
Right.
You'd have made that money back times what? 10, 15, 20?
Yeah. Yes.
Look at that investment went a long way.
Absolutely.
So you done made that. Okay. So for someone that's dreaming of starting a home care agency, what are the first 3 steps you recommend that they take? The first 3 steps if they're dreaming of starting.
Research.
Okay, research.
Definitely research. I would find a mentor.
Okay.
And I would pretty much start with a private pay client.
Research, find a mentor, and your first client should be a private pay client.
Yes.
Those are some jewels. I'm going to say it again. Research, find a mentor is the biggest one. Absolutely. A mentor that you can trust, that can guide you and know what they're doing. And the third one was what? Find a private pay
client.
Private pay. Why private pay? I'll let you give them a little nugget. Why you say private pay?
Private pay because you're going to receive, your funds. You're going to receive them on time as usual. You are not going to have to learn so much about
the systems.
The systems that's needed. it's just going to be way easier, and you're able to, um, again, work with the families and
Yeah.
create structure, um, within, what you're doing. You're going to have time to learn the business better.
Right. And I will say this one word is a C word that you're saying that they don't hear, and it's control.
Yes.
Private pay gives you control.
Control, absolutely.
So now that you have control over how much you're making, how much you're charging a client. So those 3 nuggets is some jewels right there. You got to take it and run with it. Okay, so working with you as your CFO has been such a rewarding experience for me. I have learned a lot from working with you. So from your perspective, how has having financial guidance helped you grow your business? And why would you recommend this kind of support to others?
Oh, that's an easy one. You've come in and you've brought a whole different perspective of the business to light for me. So you were able to come in and see my blind spots, things that I wasn't seeing. I'm so focused, as I said before, on providing the care to my clients that the financial side of it, I hate to say it, but it's not where I don't really.
You hate it, huh?
Yeah. It's times where I forget to even invoice the clients because I get up and it's like, oh boy, I'm going to see such and such. And then, okay, it's bill time. And I'm like, oh Lord.
That's what you got an assistant for.
Right. But having you has been wonderful because I've come up with ideas all the time. Like my mind is so creative. It's always going. It's always thinking about how I can make things better. What can we do next to help the community? What can we do that I'm not focused on so much the structure of the business? I'm planning, but I'm not planning from an area of what makes sense long term.
Yeah, you already kind of know. Okay.
Yeah. And so having you is really opening my eyes. Is more so, the questions that you bring to me. Why is it that you want to move into this area of the business? Have you thought about what revenue is going to bring in? Have you thought about whether it's going to be a loss behind it? You really need to sit down and look at from A to Z what it is that you're planning to do next.
Right.
And a lot of times our conversations end in, I think I'll wait. So with that being said, I feel that you keep me grounded within the business.
Yeah.
You also make it so that we're always being we're being productive. We're always growing. You're there to keep us motivated. I've had days where you're not just, providing that financial side of it or strategically planning. It's Karina, I need to vent. So you're there as a support system around the board for us. And I couldn't say that I've picked, I couldn't say that I've found anybody better than you to help us, to help us grow.
Listen, I love working with you. I mean, I don't know if my husband know. I know. But he probably like, she be a little too happy. I'm be so happy talking to you. I'm like, Gwen, did you think of this?
Right.
Hey, did you? And we looking at numbers. Like, it's very rewarding for me. I mean, we just went and sat at Panera. We was there for 3 hours.
I think 3 hours or 3.5.
I was only supposed to be there for probably 30 minutes.
Right.
I don't even know if I missed a meeting. I'm sorry. But we was there for 3 hours. It would have been longer had I not. Yeah. I had to grab my jacket.
She started packing up on me.
Yeah, I had to start packing up. I'm like, well, I'll be here a little bit too long. But it's very rewarding.
Right.
This industry, I don't know why, but I love this industry. I love what you do. I love working with you. You and Shanae and all your staff, y'all make a great team, especially observing you on a call. Like, I got to observe that. I mean, I ain't never had no meeting like that, at a company. Right. It was a great meeting. It shows that you care a lot about what you do. And I appreciate that because I like to work with people who think like you and act like you, because that's how I think. I care. You have a lot of love and care that you give and that you show to your staff. Even you treat them like they're your kids. Shanette, everybody. I love it. Heck, me too, probably. So,
Right.
So I want to say, How do you approach making tough decisions, especially when they affect both your clients and the caregivers?
I just tough decisions. They really the resources. That's how I handle them. When it comes down to a really, really tough decision, then I'm going to go to the books. I'm going to go to the resources and I'm going to find out exactly how this needs to be handled.
Yeah.
There's an association that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
When there's something that I just don't understand or I feel that I'm not making a sound, compliant decision on,
Right.
then I reach out to them for answers.
Yeah.
I rarely, make executive decisions because they could be crucial in this line of business.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to the resources that's there from the state
Right.
and things of such.
I think that's important. A lot of home care agencies are not a part of associations.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times you're doing what you know to do and what you've been taught, but to keep on up, even with companies that are growing and scaling, like you have to keep up with the times and what's happening, because if not, you're missing important things that could really send you back months or years. So that's awesome.
Yes.
I love it. Now this one is right here about licensing. So when you start a home care agency, it involves a lot of navigating of regulations. So what advice would you give about handling compliance and licensing when someone is getting started?
You definitely have to stick to the codes.
Mm.
Know the codes, learn the codes, abide by the codes.
Know the codes, learn the codes, and abide by the codes.
Yes.
So, and that's important for any industry. But in this industry, don't start if you don't know the
codes,
abide by the codes, and learn them codes. I know I said it out of order. I might have said something twice, but what she said. So what's the most rewarding part of this business for you, and how do you keep that at the forefront during the challenging times that you may have?
The most rewarding part of the business is having people from the community come up to me and say, I seen your people out with Miss Such and Such the other day or Mr. Such and Such. They looked really good. You're doing really good. We're just glad that we have someone in the community that can help the way that you're helping. I do have family members or, we have organizations. We would like you to come and speak at them to provide the education. Just people acknowledging and sharing and know that we're here and that we can help is the most rewarding part for me. That warms my heart to no extent. People don't know me per se. Some of them don't know my staff. What you see is all you know until you get to know us. So when we're out, I'm hoping and praying and just leading the team to know that people don't know you until they get to know you. So what you see in the public, what you give in the public is all they know.
Yes.
It's all they know. But we want everyone in the community to know who we are without just the appearance.
Yeah.
We want to demonstrate and show who we are. We want to bring that to your home.
Yeah. I love it. Look, the way that your company is, if I ever need the service, you know who I'm calling.
Oh, yeah.
Like, seriously.
UCHS.
So what do you hope your agency's legacy will be? Not just for you, but for your clients, your caregivers, and for the community.
I hope we leave a legacy of showing and providing families with love, compassion, giving them a sense of, a feeling of knowing that they're important. I would like us to be known for being the nurturer, the nurturer of a pillar and a nurturer of the community.
I like that.
Yeah, just knowing that they're the one.
Yeah, I like that. You know, you should have that on the wall. The nurturer.
The nurturer.
Yeah, I like that a
Oh.
lot. That rings a bell.
Well, I want to change that name anyway. From United Choice.
I like United Choice. You got to keep that. But the nurturer, that's the slogan right there.
The nurturer.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that.
Yeah.
And we also changing that. We would like to change it to United Choice Healthcare Family. That came across me last week because we're not a staffing agency. We can put somebody in your home. That's not what we do. We want a personality match. We want to feel warm when we get there. We want to kick our shoes off, walk around with you, and have sit at the dinner table with you and eat with you. We want to become part of your family, so we'll be the nurturer.
I like that
for the families.
Yeah, I like that. You don't get that a lot, like to want to be a part of the family. People just come do their job and they go, but not y'all.
No,
it's important. And when I observed your staff, let me tell you, they knew everything about the client. I said, I heard one of them. I said, "Oh, she paying attention." All of them knew, but she went a rundown. She could go down each hour if she could. What happened? Observing the client, how she was walking, how her arm was. Like, I want that. If something is wrong with a loved one of mine, I want that attention to be given to them because I know somebody care outside of me and they're watching them. What I keep thinking about is the fact that when you get elderly and you don't have the help that you need, you lose so much weight.
Yeah.
But to have someone to come in, you guys make them 3 meals a day, or you feed them according to the diet that they are supposed to have,
right?
And not just sandwiches.
They get cheat days.
They get cheat days, but most of the time, look, kids get cheat days,
right?
But most of the time, they're getting a meal.
Absolutely.
They're getting a nutritious meal.
Right.
That's important because your weight go down so fast, and you can get so small. You could die from being so small and thin. You're not getting nutrients,
right,
vitamins, and minerals that the body needs. So that is just so important because a lot of that takes into account why a lot of our elders are passing so fast.
Right.
They don't have the care that they need.
Absolutely.
The proper care. So hitting 6 figures in your first year, and we're going to say in your first 10 months.
Yes.
It's incredible. So most people struggle to get started. So what was the biggest shift in your mindset that allowed you to achieve that so fast?
I honestly didn't realize that we were approaching the 6-figure mark. I want to say we hit 6 figures in the 4th month of the business. So we exceeded 6 figures times 2, actually.
Right.
Yes.
So that's great.
In the first 10 months of the business.
Yeah.
But I didn't focus on numbers. And that was a mistake as well. I didn't focus on numbers. I focused on the care. So that right there was everything to me. If I focus on care, then the numbers will grow.
Yeah, exactly. And I was about to say that you focus on where you really need to focus, especially when you're starting. Then when you're scaling, you've already focused on that. So now you can really pay attention to numbers. But what's different about you is you have someone like me.
Yeah.
A lot of startups don't have a CFO advisor to come into their business and help them grow. Yeah. Like you were already growing, but then we came in and it just moved even faster. Yeah. It's moving very fast now.
Yeah.
Like so I think that the way your mindset is, it's very different from someone who is usually starting. But if they can understand the steps that you took, the things that you did to get to where you are, it took you 10 months, it'll take you 2.
Absolutely.
It'll take you 3.
Absolutely.
Less than that, way less time than what it took you. So
yeah,
I want to thank you for coming on today and sharing your story with me. I mean, you almost had water to come down. But I'm good. But I appreciate you coming on, giving us your time, because in your industry, you are very busy. So thank you again for coming on. And, maybe we'll have you on again.
You're very welcome, Corinne. I would love to come back. Thank you so much.
Thank you again.